What's up, guys? So the video I've got for you today is a Mayfly Emerger pattern, and we're only going to use 3 materials. We're going to use, I guess 4 if you count the thread. We're going to use deer hair, we're going to use a little bit of dubbing, and then a little bit of wire. First thing we're going to do, dress the hook, and you're going to want to go a little bit down the bend of the hook with this one, probably about right there. And then right off the bat, we're going to tie in a little strip of gold wire. So I got my gold wire. I'm going to start about halfway down the body, and we're going to try to keep this wire on top of the body as we tie it back. This pattern is really good to fish during a hatch, right before a hatch. The body section is actually supposed to be under the water. And I'll show a picture of what a real Mayfly Emerger looks like. So you can kind of compare and then kind of see the difference between this one and what an actual one looks like. And for our dubbing, we're just going to use squirrel dubbing. Depending on what Mayfly is hatching, you can use a couple different colors. But for this video and this fly, I'm going to use kind of a dark brown squirrel type dubbing. You can use regular dry fly dubbing. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of your personal preference. The color is really what matters more so than the type of dubbing it is. So I'm just going to start down in there. I kind of want to get a tapered body off this fly. Dubbing got a little screwy, but you're just going to wrap it forward till you get to about an eye length behind the actual eye. So we're going to stop kind of right where I started dressing the hook. And then if your dubbing gets a little messy like that, you could just unwind it and twist it down again. It's no problem. This is just not working with me today. Alright, we want to stop right about there. And then what you're going to do, I have a rotary vise, so I'm going to use the rotary feature to put this wire around it, so I'm going to whip finish this. Obviously you don't need a rotary vise, but it kind of helps for small stuff like this. And we're just going to start wrapping our wire. Some guys use like crystal flash. I like wire because, like I said, I want the body of this fly to be underwater, and I want the wing section to be above the water to look like an emerging mayfly. So we're just going to wrap this forward, stop right about there, grab your thread, and we're just going to, oh, my thread came a little loose. We're just going to tie that off right there. And then you can either snip or spin the wire off, doesn't really matter. I like to spin it off for the sake of my scissors staying sharp. And the next thing we're going to do is grab some deer hair and put it in the stacker. So I grabbed my clump of deer hair. About that much is probably more than enough. And we're just going to put it in the stacker really quickly. Oh, I almost did it upside down. And then we're just going to pack it down so it's nice and even. All the tips are lined up, as you can see. We're going to grab those. And then kind of pinch out the stray tips here. And that might be a little much. I'm going to take a little bit off of that. But I'd rather have more and then remove it than less and need to put more on. That should be good. And we want it to be about the length of the hook. So this is a size 16 hook. So we're going to tie it in right here. Start off with 2 loose wraps. And then the third one you can really cinch it down here. And then just kind of wrap it back a little bit. Then you can snip it right off. So I prefer to kind of pull it tight like this, and then we'll do some forward facing wraps. Not forward facing, but in the front of the actual fly. And then what I like to do is I like to grab a little bit more dubbing and kind of fill in the spaces where the deer hair was cut off and that our thread left. So I'm gonna go back behind it actually and cover that up. And then that's really it. At this point, you're ready to whip finish it, and you'll be all finished up. So it's super easy to tie, super beginner friendly, and it's really good to fish in a whole bunch of different hatches. The color is super broad, so you can. It's not really meant to imitate any one specific type of mayfly, but it'll be really good for a variety of hatches, and just overall good to have some emerger patterns in your fly box. So yeah, this is what it looks like all finished up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.